YouTube, what's going on? It's a new week in Last Shelter, which means a brand new update. Yay, more to do. This is all about mechs, particularly a new system called the Mech Workshop. Now, this is just released. This is like hour 1 of this new system being introduced in the game. So I'm going to do my best to cover what we know now, the information that we have, and then obviously things change pretty rapidly, especially when something new comes out. I'll try to keep you posted. I'll make YouTube shorts if, this new thing happened. There's a new way of getting this material. This is actually the best way to do it, or whatever. So follow the channel if you want, or don't. It's okay. So anyway, the Mech Workshop is the main part of the update. So if we go into the Mech Workshop here, it's a brand new system, new materials, new everything. So you can see here up at the top, there are 3 new mechs. I'm not really sure what these names are, but yeah. So we have Daring Wily, who has a sound wave enhancement. So this is basically a fighter heavy mech. We have Boudica the Sentry, and a big Boudica. I like to think of Daring Wily as a big, strong man. Boudica as a curvy lady. And then we have Hopter of Fantasy, who's a vehicle, who's like just a robot, right? So vehicle or prism enhancement, thunderbolt enhancement, and then soundwave enhancement. I'll explain these as we go a little bit further. It's kind of confusing, so just bear with me. Now, within each mech, you have these new kind of research nodes, which use a brand new material. So if we click into hardware, which is the only thing that you can click into right out of the box, right when you log in, it's sort of like the defense plans where you kind of just have to go through, you level them up a bunch, or like USB actually. It's probably closer to USB. Also like USB, there are 3 different kind of types of the material. So just like when you open up a USB chest, you can get, vehicle USB, fighter USB, or shooter USB. Very similar things here. So there's some good stats that you can get. Fighter, Siege, Attacker, Might, Defender Might, Fighter, Siege, Defender Resistance, Defender Might, Siege, Attacker Resistance, and then you actually get, regular stuff. So like 10% Fighter's Might from down here, Resistance, 10% Resistance again, and then you unlock this skill at the very, very end. So there's some decent things in here, some decent stats. And then there's these nodes, which most people have all of the questions about. So this is a soundwave strength node, basically. You increase the power of the soundwave strength. Then we have Thunderbolt immunity, which means it increases your immunity to Thunderbolt, right? Up to 10. And you'll see these over and over. So soundwave strength, Thunderbolt immunity, soundwave strength, Thunderbolt immunity. Now, what does this mean? Well, soundwave strength is kind of the bonus of Daring Wily. So here we have soundwave enhancement. If you go in here, you have soundwave strength, right? If you go to your mech, they've now been replaced with these 3, the first 3 mechs have basically been replaced with the new guys. So Daring Wily, you can see that the radiation attribute is now soundwave strength. That's because I have, the first 10 nodes of soundwave strength. Okay? Now, I'm not entirely sure what the radiation attribute thing is. I think this is just a basic increase to this right here. So swing. Swing is, these are basically all the same for every single mech. So we have swing, we have detonate, and then we have shoot. They're basically all the same. They pretty much do the exact same thing. So it uses the primary weapon to launch 1 attack every single round, dealing 400% radiation damage. The bonus that we saw here, this 10%, so I think it basically just means it does 410 radiation damage. Basically, that's sort of what it looks like. The type of radiation damage will be determined by the damage type of the mech's primary weapon. So basically, you're now sort of being required to use like a fighter weapon on Daring Wily, at least for just your primary. Keep that in mind, right? So I can have a vehicle weapon on my sidearm, and it's not really going to have any effect on anything else in here. So similarly with the Hopter, you want to use a vehicle, and then Boudica, you want to use a gun or a shooter weapon. The sidearm can be changed, so just keep that in mind. If you want, let's say you have Super Killer and Flash, Your primary weapon might be your vehicle, your fighter weapon, and then your sidearm might be a shooter weapon. So that Flash is still getting those, upgrades and benefits. So there we go. Next, if we go into the hardware, it's the Thunderbolt immunity, which is basically the exact opposite. If we click on Boudica, here he has the Thunderbolt enhancement. So Boudica has Thunderbolt stuff. Daring Wily is basically increasing the resistance against that, which the hope here is that fighters counter shooters, right? That's how it was many, many, many moons ago. Fighters basically always won against shooters. Shooters basically always won against vehicles, and vehicles basically always won against fighters. That sort of rock, paper, scissors style has gone away completely for the last several years. I think this is a way to kind of bring that back a little bit. If all of this stuff is maxed, your mech in particular, the Daring the Wily, is going to do really, really, really well against shooters. He's going to have all of this resistance stuff here, and then he'll have the, kind of radiation stuff as well. So I think that's the point. Now, I don't know what these other, nodes contain. Do they keep increasing the sound wave enhancement and keep, increasing the immunity against Thunderbolt? I'm not sure. Again, we'll have to see. Clearly I don't have them unlocked. Basically, you have to fully unlock hardware, and then you'll unlock attack system, then upgraded sensor, then polished exterior. So there's nothing, you can't choose to do anything. It's just a straight line, straight shot. You basically just need materials. That's kind of all you can do. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. At the very end of hardware, you get a skill. It's different for each type, obviously, here. And then I believe this is going to be, that skill that gets unlocked. So mass attack. Very similar to what we saw before of sound wave enhancement, except it works slightly differently. So this, again, is going to deal that radiation damage, which gets increased by, upgrading the nodes in here in the Mech Workshop. Everything is kind of revolvent around that primary weapon. It's now going to be important to have a primary weapon and a sidearm weapon. Before it makes absolutely zero difference. It's just stats. Now it's kind of important. I don't know exactly how much the radiation stuff does. I'm not really sure. I'm going to, again, assume that it's a totally separate type of damage and that it's only kind of predicated based on your opponent's resistance against that radiation type and your strength increase of your radiation type. So we'll have to see as we start using this stuff and people get it really, really high unlocked, and it's much easier to see the differences. But for now, with just such low percentages, it's very low stuff. It's very, very hard to see even in testing. So hopefully a lot of this stuff, makes a little bit more sense, right? Now, the question on the Mech Workshop stuff is, how do you get the materials? How do you upgrade these things? Well, there's a couple different ways. Quite likely there's, packs. Right now there aren't packs, which is surprising. Maybe my game's just not updated. Maybe it's, for iOS they have the packs. But for right now, we actually don't have packs. So how else do you get the upgrades? Well, pardon me. Hourly challenges can get you these upgrades. Just like the titanium enhancement, I am not fully convinced that it's going to work or it's going to stay the same. You can't get them in your Clash of Alliance yet. That, again, might get updated. Basically, the way that you want to do it is you need to kill hoarders. So hoarders now are going to be dropping these drawings here. So this drawing in particular is for Daring Wily, but you can get the drawings for some other people as well. It might always be, I'm not actually sure. You do also, there is a chance to get kind of just blank ones, and then when you open them, you get a separate version. But for now, those are the ways. We also got a mail here that tells you, so participating in Heimdall's counterattack, that's just like the daily thing, will also get you a little bit. I don't know how much it gave today. I don't actually think it gave any today. I'm not gonna lie, but potentially it did. And then you can get some mech drawings or the chests, which again is just like USB from, probably plenty of other ways as well in the future. So right now it's basically like kill a bunch of very, very high level hoarders, level 25 hoarders as much as you possibly can. Level up your hardware just instantly. It doesn't matter. Just do it right away. Right as you get the material, just level it up. Maybe there's going to be an event. Probably. There will probably at some point in time be an event where it's like, oh yeah, consume 1 billion of these things and, get, I don't even know, some diamonds or whatever. Now you will need a ton of these. Again, there is no packs at the moment. Of course there's going to be packs. But it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell the strength of this new system. Potentially polished exterior, for example, is like so overpowered and it's giving you billions and billions of stats. So if you're a super whale and you're watching this video, or if your friend is a super whale, please ask them, in the future, polished exterior, like how is it? So that we at least have that data so that I can let the community know, or, other people can let everybody know, oh yeah, no, this is broken. This is OP. We need to start spending on it. Everything else is going to be exactly the same for the others. So just do the same thing that you would always once do. And that's pretty much it. Mech Workshop done. Mechs covered. Oh, the only other difference is selecting them. It's going to be the same. All your weapons are exactly the same. It doesn't change anything. It just changes selecting your primary weapon. So do that right now. Do that immediately. You can see here, radiation type sound wave. It's on my Darren Wiley. So yeah, I'm sure there's going to be future updates. I'm sure there will be more stuff, more fun. I'll let you guys know. But also let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of the system? I think so far it's kind of good. It makes use of the hoarders, which right now have no purpose. It's kind of confusing, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the system. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.